E quindi io dico proprio solo un benvenuti semplice così, poi passo la parola a Eleonora che spiega tutta la parte più istituzionale e di che cosa c'è dietro a questo evento di Ferrara Calling. Poi parlo io e faccio un'introduzione in generale su Ferrara con un video di accompagnamento e poi pensavo di fare un po' di alternanze, quindi far parlare uno dei ragazzi. Indifferente, Arnaud o Federico, chi preferisce parlare prima, decidete voi.
Se non è un problema per te, no, perché avevo proprio giusto questa finestra di un quarto d'ora, 20
Va
minuti,
bene,
avrei.
vabbè, va bene, ti lascio. No, no, va bene, uguale per me.
Perfetto. E
Grazie mille.
poi sì, Eleonora quindi ha dei materiali da condividere, Federico no, giusto? Non hai delle slide, Arno neanche, Shade invece sì, ci hai mandato la tua presentazione, puoi condividere tu il tuo schermo così decidi tu
Perfetto, ok.
come
Ok.
lanciarti. Va bene, allora direi che a questo punto possiamo iniziare. Vado, eh? Ok. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second edition of Ferrara Calling. We already had a first edition in the month of May, and we decided to do a second go. So Ferrara Calling is part of a broader program, which is also based in the entire region, and it aims to connect international talents to this area. Specifically for tonight is Ferrara, but we are part of a broader program, as I said, covering the entire region. And I would like also to thank, of course, our institutional partner. We have Eleonora from Arter, which will be telling you a bit more about the broader initiative region-wise. So I will leave the floor to her.
Thank you, Eleonora. What a weird situation. It's not usual that I have other people with the same name that I have. So it's a pleasure to be here. And thank you for the invitation. I'm here with my colleague, Maria Giovanna Govoni. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the regional program dedicated to international talents. It's called ITER, International Talents Emilia-Romagna. I hope you can see my screen. Okay. Before telling you about ITER, me and Maria Giovanna, we are from a company called an agency, actually, the Innovation Agency of the Emilia-Romagna region, so the government of the region called ATER, not dealing with art, unfortunately, but dealing with attractiveness research territory. And what we do is normally fostering the innovation in all over the region, actually. In particular, me and Maria Giovanna, we are doing that part with talents. So, we do this to actually bring down all the opportunities and services that are coming out from the regional law. We are the only region in Italy and almost all over Europe to have a specific law on talent attraction, retention, and valorization. So it means that we are really interested not just in attracting you in our universities or research centers or companies, but also to keep you here, not just because we are like a touristic place, but because this could be a place where you can see yourself and your family in the near future. So this law actually started to become something effective, supporting the municipalities. Before, the first actor were the municipalities, and then also universities and the academies of fine arts and music in providing services for international talents like you, but which talents are we talking about? So we are talking about university students. So when we say students, we are talking about high-level students, so from the university up, scientists, researchers in general, and knowledge workers and their families. So I'm talking about partners and children, child and children. And and when we talk about talents, we are talking about Italians, but we are also talking about international that are actually living in our region or penetrating in our region, but also international who are interested in, relocating in Emilia-Romagna. But also Italians who went abroad, who stayed abroad for a bit, let's say for more than an Erasmus program, and then they decided to come back. So what we do through the law and as I told you, the different actors that provide services for free. Please retain this information for free to talents. So this is what we do, providing services and opportunities and information to talents. In particular, for international talents, we started developing this program since 2019, and ITER is obviously specific, very specific for international talents. And as you can see, it provides services, information and services on different timing, let's say, of your staying or intention to come to Emilia-Romagna. So we are talking about the moving to moment. So when you are deciding if you're gonna come or not to our region, the setting up moment. So when you just move to Emilia-Romagna and you need, to find a house, to settle down in every possible way, the living in part. So maybe you're not just a student or a worker, you want to go to a gym, you want to meet friends. So it's starting to, participate also in the daily life of our towns, and you want to get involved actually. So maybe you want to become an ITER ambassador, for example, being part of the local communities of internationals and Italians. So not just to have, an aperitivo together, but also to do some a networking that could lead to a small project and so on and so forth. So as I told you, you can find services. It depends from the moment of your life and then you can request also different services. It depends on the timing that you are running actually. And all this information, you can find them in the ITER website. So if you go to Google and doing International Talents Emilia-Romagna, you'll be able to find us. And the website is in 3 languages, so English, Italian, and Spanish. And as you can see, you can find the 4 areas dedicated to students, researchers, knowledge workers, and Italians who are willing to come back. And every section, let's say, foresees specific services. But the most important one that I'd like you to retain is the ITER Info Desk. ITER Info Desk, it's the main services are in the blue bubbles. So the bubble related to the ITER Info Desk is the most important one, because it's a one-to-one meeting with us about your specific situation, because obviously you can surf the website and find all the information that you might need, and the stories, the podcasts and videos, and yes, information on many subjects actually and topics. but it could be also a lot of information. So to process them and to help you in understanding what you might need in this specific moment, maybe you want to have a one-to-one meeting with us online, so you can book it anytime. We can adjust to your also time zone if you're not in the chat CET zone. And we'll try to inform you and orientate you in our regional innovation ecosystem. You'll also find many information and materials and documents that can help you. And part of this website will be soon dedicated to the specific program of our main, services of our main municipalities. And Ferrara is one of them, obviously, because so ITER is the regional umbrella, right, for this kind of services, but then you have the local talent program, and Eleonora is representing here the Ferrara one. And so you have, if you're willing to come and in your mind there's Ferrara, you obviously have right now a person that you can talk to and ask specific information about Ferrara. So we also collaborate a lot. So if you come to us before Ferrara, we can obviously build the bridge for you with them. So it's up to you to have both of the talk. So it's free, it's for free. So it's up to you. Or if you want to go straight to Ferrara or straight to us. On the website, you can also find this guideline. You can download it, you can surf it. In the guideline, you can find more than 60 services related, for example, on how to find a house in different areas of the region. Information about association of international, the 4 moments the timing related to your time that we saw at the very beginning. So services related to moving to, setting up, living in, and getting involved. This is the info desk, so the link, and this is what I was telling you before. So you'll find services, specific services, and free services again for you, also related to the bureaucratic part. So if you're willing, if you are coming to Italy and you're not Italian, so you're coming from a third country, not from European Union, you might need questura and prefettura and other services for your visa. But also you should know that you can come and your salary could be a little bit higher because we have benefits and incentives related to a national law. So we can give you information also about that. And part could be done also by the local services. So all this information will be given to you. So this presentation, we will leave it to the Open Lab, Ferrara Open Lab, so they can send it to you, but you will find the very same information on the ITER website. So this is the way to stay in touch with us. So maybe you want to receive our monthly newsletter with a small update. So it's something quite easy and not that heavy. And or maybe you want to follow us on the different social media. Maybe it's easier. So come back to us anytime.
Thank you so much, Eleonora. I hope you already found so many useful information. I would also like to thank the other institutional partner, which is the Municipality of Ferrara, that sadly cannot be with us today, but of course they have a message, welcome you all to our series of webinar. As Eleonora was saying, you will receive right after the webinar some materials, including the presentation deck she was just showing you, a survey, because of course we would like to know how we did and what we can do better, and also other presentation from our guests, but also probably most important of all is let's say a call of interest, because we will be hosting a weekend for international talents in Ferrara. So if you are interested in being with us for a weekend and see live what you will be hearing about tonight, from the 15th to the 18th of September, we will be happy to have you here with us as a guest. So accommodation and food will be provided. And that's something that you can let us know if you're interested in with the survey afterwards. Okay, so what is going to happen in these other 45 minutes we have? You won't hear a sales pitch. This is a story. You will hear about basically lifestyle in Ferrara, which is a city that offers a lot of things combined all together, like calm, creativity, and connection. And I think that especially today, in a world that demands more and more of our time and our energy, a place where you can find all of these different aspects combined together is quite unique. So I will show you a little video about what it means to live and go around in Ferrara, and I will tell you a bit more, and then I leave the floor to our guests. Okay, so Ferrara is a timeless and evolving city at the same time. It's been part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1995, and it's a city that it was built on Renaissance dreams because it has been home of visionary rulers, which are the Estense family, and they believed in combining art, architecture, and urban innovation, but Ferrara didn't freeze in time. Ferrara is a city that has become even more and more evolved in times. Today, it's almost students, freelancers, entrepreneurs, and researchers. And you will still see, of course, the Renaissance buildings and cobble street, but you will also find unusual co-working spaces like the Laboratorio Aperto, which is where I'm doing this webinar right now, which used to be an ancient theater, and now it's home for innovation, culture, events, and again, co-working spaces. And also there are also newly redeveloped areas like the dockyards, which have been completed just recently, and they're very beautiful to walk around. And if you think about it, I can definitely tell there is something magical that living in a place with so much history, but at the same time, a place that still leaves room for you and for your own story to be told. As you can see in the video, going around Ferrara by bicycle is probably the best option for everybody. The city is itself surrounded by more than 9 kilometers of medieval walls, but these aren't to be considered just as like as a monument. They can be your new jogging trail, your daily bike ride, your evening walk. So it's a city that is made for movement, but at your own pace. You can ride across town in 15 minutes, passing by lovely squares, trees, and you can be relaxed about it. So commuting, it doesn't feel like stress reaching your workplace, but it feels like actually living in the city. Of course, you can leave the city with a lot of its cultural life, because in Ferrara there is a lot of cultural activities going around. We have several musical festivals, from classical music to rock concerts to street music events, especially during the summer season. Like now, there are literally concerts going on all the time, but also you have traditional festivals like the Palio. And also there are a lot of art exhibitions at Palazzo dei Diamanti. You have cinemas, because of course Ferrara is also being the birthplace of famous Italian film directors, so they are still homage to today. And again, all year long, the calendar is pretty full. So if you are someone who loves being surrounded by creativity, Ferrara is the place to be. But also nature is a key element in this town. If you think about that, there are more than 54 square meters of green space per resident, which is way above the average Italian space per inhabitant. It's incredible. And also just beyond the city, you have the River Po Delta Park, which again is a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, and you have the Comacchio waterways. And there you can do some kayaking, you can again cycle, you can take river cruises, you can see flamingos, you can enjoy the silence. And basically it's just a view that it differs quite a lot from the Italy you see in the postcards. It's very, very authentic, and it's all within reach because we're talking about less than 1 hour driving. And again, talking about location, Ferrara is in a very strategic location, and it's very well connected because you're never far from anything. You are less than half an hour from Bologna, which is one of the busiest international airport and train station. And you can get easily high-speed train and reach Milano, Rome if you have, let's say, a business meeting. But at the same time, you can also reach major cultural spots like Florence and Venice. And also, if you're thinking about holidays, the Adriatic Sea is close by. Both the Alps and the Apennine Mountains are very close if you're thinking about a weekend escape. So again, Ferrara, it's a combination of a lot of beautiful things. It's a sweet spot. It's calm when you want it, but it's also very connected when you need it. What else can we say about Ferrara? Well, of course, we wouldn't be Italian if we didn't throw food in the conversation. So again, Ferrara is quite well renowned for specific and local delicacies, and being in Emilia Romagna, it means that we take food very seriously here, and my guests and friends can confirm this as well. So you will discover capellacci di zucco, which are actually one of my favorite things to eat all over the world, but also other sarama da sugo, local wines, and also bakery with delicacies and bread that has their origin in the Renaissance, so literally centuries year old recipes. So again, is not something food that you will consider here as fast, so you won't be enjoying that many fast food options, but you will consider it something that brings people together and makes, again, everyday life worth celebrating. So what's the city becoming more and more? Ferrara, it's, again, I was saying, evolving. It's becoming let's say year by year, home of more digital professionals and entrepreneurs, and some of them are with us tonight. There are co-working spaces, there are startup incubators, there are innovation lab like the Laboratorio Aperto, which is the space where I am right now. And also there is a university that combines tradition with innovation, offering international courses, research opportunities, and continuing education. So even if you're thinking about building your business or changing career or growing your skill, Ferrara gives you the tool, the space, and a rhythm that you can actually live and thrive in. What else can we add about Ferrara? Of course, we just said that it's an ideal location for remote workers, but not just for them. It's also a good city for families, for students, for couples, and for creative minds. So there are a lot of excellent healthcare services that are quite accessible. There are very high quality public schools. There are a lot of green parks and spaces, as I was saying earlier on, but also there are amazing sports centers. So, and above all, everything is very accessible. You don't really need a car to go around. You can access all of these services just using your bicycle. And again, Ferrara is known as the city of the bicycle. And if you think about it, it's quite spot on, considering that there are more than 180 kilometers of bike path. So it's pretty unique again. The cost of living compared to other big cities is significantly lower, which means that you have more energy and also more money to spend on your passion and to focus on what really matters to you, your work, your well-being, your passion. So you can live well and live more slowly without giving anything up. So again, something that is quite appealing. As I said, it's a city that most of all is special because of its soul. Ferrara is a city that is welcoming, it's grounded and human. And you will find a lot of different opportunities here, but also you will find what really matters, which is belonging. And talking about belonging, I will stop myself now, and I want to leave more space to our guests. And I will start with Federico, which is from Ferrara. Actually, is not a talent that we attracted from abroad, but it's a talent already living here. And as I said, is as I love to call him, is a digital resident, not a digital nomad. He is involved with a lot of managerial and social innovation activities for culture, music and entertainment, and I will leave him to him.
Thank you, Eleonora, also for inviting me. It's really a pleasure to meet with some peers from all of Europe, maybe the world, I don't know, but so everyone is here, so it's super nice. So hello, my name is Federico Rasetti. I haven't traveled as digital nomad since 3 days ago. I just came back from Puglia region. And firstly, let me introduce myself. I juggle 3 main professional roles. I'm a sole trader, so I put different hats in my head every day. Each of which regularly pushes me out of my time for traveling. I'm managing director for KeepOn Live, which is the National Association of Music Live Venues, Clubs, and Festival. We represent them through institution, but also with brands and company to help them on doing their job better. And also we have a lot of networking opportunities. So again, I travel a lot for this. I'm also co-president of Live DMA, which is an European network of every singular national association of live music venues. And again, we try to empowering the grassroots live music scene in Europe. And also I'm a strategic and business consultant for BAM Strategie Culturali, which is a consultancy specifically specified on cultural and creative environments. So we help cultural institutions, creative industries, ministry, region, and other policymaker on understand culture, on understand audiences, and help this kind of organization on dealing with culture and audiences in the better way. Each of the role is deeply rooted in international collaboration, events, partnership, again, and making constant traveling as an integral part of my professional life. But despite of this, as Eleonora said, I recently embraced the concept of being more a digital resident rather than purely a digital nomad. Why? Because I choose to stay in Ferrara as my base, at least for my bed. I have somewhere to came back sometimes. Also, my girlfriend is living in Rome, so also for personal reason, I have to travel a lot from Ferrara, but that's why. Yeah, why choose Ferrara? Because it strikes the perfect balance, in my opinion. The city offers an ideal pace of life, yeah, manageable living cost, and a comfortable size. As Eleonora says, is true. In maybe not in 15 minutes you can go from a part to the other part, maybe by foot in 45 minutes, but I mean it's like a quarter of Milan or Rome or London, etc. So it's very little. But at the same time, it's little, but it's not isolating. This is crucial in my opinion. So, for example, it's already said, it's quite close to the Bologna airport, but also to the Venice. Actually, from Venice, normally the flight is quite cheaper than Bologna, and also the timing is better. So from Ferrara, you can reach them. You can reach there in 1 hour more or less, plus 20 minutes of transfer. But Bologna also, so it's really yeah, it's really convenient. And yeah, so this is more or less why I choose to stay here. And I don't know if they can ask me something, but anyway.
Yes, of course. I forgot to tell at the
Okay.
beginning. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to type them in the Q&A box, and we will be happy to answer them at the end of the session. Or if there is something that is more specific, leave us your email address, and we can reply to you by
Nice.
by email. But
Super nice.
I'm
Okay.
sure there will be questions coming from you, because what I think is really interesting is your profession and the way you are managing to combine all the different lines of your profession with living in a city that is assumingly so quiet, but really is not. Well, of course, you work more in different cities, but again, Ferrara is quite lively from this point of view. So even if you are thinking about working in the field or just enjoying some of the cultural events going on in the city, Federico is someone that can give you a lot of useful advices.
Yeah,
And
of course. I can also share the link of my jobs, but also well, you can find me quite easily on LinkedIn. So if you need some more advice, etc., just reach out. And also, actually, I'm quite eager to know someone. I don't know if some of you fit these needs, but if some of you work in digital innovation, documentary production, or copywriting law, I have some projects that are starting, so open to connect.
that's great. So see, we can already do some matching between speakers and participants. That's even better. But thank you so much, Federico. It's I love to have you here on our panel tonight. Your experience is quite unique, and thank you again for being with us. Moving on, a different story. But again, very interesting is the second speaker of our evening is Chiara Amini. She has a different background from Federico, and please correct me if I'm wrong. And she is a biologist and an expert and a consultant on environmental matters, and she will tell us her story and what she actually is doing here in Ferrara. I mean, living and also working.
Yes, thank you, Eleonora. Hello, everyone. My name is Chiara Amini. And first of all, I would like to thank Ferrara Calling Project, Laboratori Aperti, Arter, and the Municipality of Ferrara for inviting me, but above all for promoting these beautiful activities. So I'm thrilled to be here today to talk about a city very dear to my heart, which is Ferrara. You might already know it from maybe history books, but I want to share a more personal, vibrant picture of Ferrara. And it's a picture that shows why it's the perfect destination for digital nomads, freelancer, innovator students, and international professionals seeking a new quality of life combined with a personal and professional growth. So let me start about my own story. I've always lived here, but my parents chose Ferrara even before I was born. My mother from Sicily and my father from Persia both came to Ferrara to study medicine. They graduated, built their life, and started our family right here. So their story is a beautiful example of how welcoming Ferrara is and how it truly offers opportunities for everyone. My brother and I grew up in an incredibly open, culturally, sportingly environment. We were surrounded by a community that teaches you so much. In fact, the school and university here are excellent and providing a solid foundation for the whole life. Today, I work in European Environmental Project Management for a company, Istituto Delta, located right here in Ferrara. We manage projects for major public bodies like parks, nature reserves, universities across Europe. And this is just to give you an idea that opportunities here are not just behind a corner, but they are often just a few steps or a few bike pedals away. So Ferrara it's called the 5-minute city, or the city of bicycle. You probably heard about Ferrara's incredible historical and Renaissance significance, but I don't want to bore you with facts you might already know. What I want to emphasize is that while Ferrara's past is glorious, its present is very dynamic and forward-looking. Ferrara is a city truly designed for people. So imagine reaching any destination within the historic center in just 5 minutes by bike. And if you prefer a car, of course, you can move around easily without traffic, reaching opposite end of the city in 15 minutes, why not? And this is incredible. Accessibility means less commuting stress, more time for what truly matters to you, whether it's your work, your hobbies, or simply enjoying life. So just imagine you leave work, and a few steps away from you, you can find yourself inside the walls of Ferrara. I could not mention them. They represent one of the best preserved Renaissance city walls in Italy and Europe. Stretching for about 9 kilometers, they almost completely encircle the historic city center, acting as the city green belt. Here you can find people at any hour of the day, any month of the year, cycling, running, walking. It's almost our open air gym and our peaceful retreat all in one. So lot of sociality, lot of sport, happiness, ecosystem services, and the walls embody the blend of history and healthy living that defines Ferrara. Now let's talk about something truly unique that might surprise you. Ferrara is a UNESCO World Heritage site, and you might think, okay, many cities are, yeah, but here's the extraordinary part is that the entire historic city center of Ferrara is a UNESCO site. So we are not just talking about individual churches, cathedral, or Estense Castle. We are talking about the whole downtown area. So imagine walking on the same cobblestone as illustrious figures like Cosme Tura, the painters, or Giovanni Boldini, or the composer Girolamo Frescobaldi, the writers Ludovico Ariosto, Torquato Tasso, or the architect Biagio Rossetti. So the historic center was inscribed on the World Heritage List in 1995 as the city of the Renaissance. And then in 1999, the Po Delta was added, transforming the site into a cultural landscape. This means everywhere you step, you are immersed in a centuries of art, history, and genius. And of course, my professional deformation leads me to talk about Po Delta Park. The Po Delta in Ferrara is an area of immense naturalistic and tourist value, characterized by a rich biodiversity and unique landscape. The park is standing between Ferrara and Ravenna and is a vital protected area. We can say almost Delta defines our territory, surrounded by open countryside until it reaches the Adriatic Sea. In less than an hour from Ferrara, you can reach one of Italy's most important wetlands, lagoons, and pine forest, home to a vast area of animal and plant species. We can count over 3,000 of bird species, including many migratory birds, making it a privileged spot for bird watching. And the flora is equally rich with numerous plant species adapted to a different environment, including reeds, wet meadows, and woodlands. So it's a place of incredibly beauty and tranquility, perfect for unwinding and finding inspiration, why not? So Ferrara offers so much, and they haven't even started talking about the food. Otherwise, I could really be here from, I think, an hour. From the famous ricciola ferrarese you can see in this picture, or cappellacci di zucca, the pasticcio ferrarese, salama da sugo, sweet pan pepato, and of course our local wines. So is Ferrara is a culinary delight. You simply must treat yourself to a mini trip here just to savor the beauty and the authenticity of life, and of course, of the aperitivo. Why not? So why Ferrara is your ideal destination? In essence, Ferrara offers a perfect balance between work and personal life. It's a city where historical grandeur meets modern convenience, where nature is just a stone throw away, and where a strong sense of community welcomes new ideas and new people. If you are a digital nomad, a freelancer, an innovator, a student, or international professional looking for a place where you can thrive, grow, and truly enjoy a high quality of life, Ferrara is waiting for you. So I hope I've given you a compelling glimpse into what Ferrara has to offer. And please consider this my personal invitation. Visit Ferrara and you won't leave. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Jade. It was really interesting that you had your professional experience leading us to the Delta River Park, which is usually not very, it's not as famous as all the Renaissance spaces and architecture, but it really is a truly incredible place for all the biodiversity and all the experiences you could have in those lands. So thank you so much for highlighting a little, I don't know, I don't want to say subdued because it doesn't give the real picture, but it's not as famous as the rest of the town. So thank you so much. And also I love that you showed the picture of your family that was welcome here in a in a different moment, not right now, but and then they decided to create a family here and to call Ferrara home. And also I think this is a great connection with the next speaker, because Arnaud, from years later, after your parents in a different way decided to create his family here, and maybe he will tell you how it is now to be a parent of young kids in Ferrara, and also juggling to work for an international company after having lived in a lot of different places in the world. And also I am happy to call him a friend as well, so I'm really, really honored to have him here tonight with us.
Thank you, Eleonora. Thank you, Shade, for the nice presentation too. So good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for having me here. So my name is Arnaud. I am French. I'm a civil engineer. I will give you maybe a bit of background so you know where I come from, and you will probably understand why I'm still here. So French civil engineer, graduated in France, did a bit of my studies also in Denmark, and I started working in Australia for 4 years, between Australia and New Zealand, came back to Europe for 2 years in Scotland, and I ended up in France for another 2 years, after which I met my wife. So my wife is Italian. She is, of course, from Ferrara. So it's a bit funny because when you meet people in Ferrara, if they are not from Ferrara, they come for 3 main reasons, or the partner is from Ferrara, or one of the partner works for the NATO, because we have a NATO base nearby, actually, so it could be also the case, or someone came to Ferrara. Usually I meet a lot of architects in my work, and they came to Ferrara to study a little bit the culture and history. But joke apart, it's not for the only reason that you will meet people from overseas coming to Ferrara. There are a lot of other reasons, and we will discuss it. So back to my story. Met my wife. So particularity with my wife, we met. We spoke English. I was not speaking Italian, and she was speaking a little bit of French, but not so much. So we've always spoken actually in English. And at some point we decided to have a family. So the baby girl was on its way, but we didn't actually plan the rest of our story. So the baby was born, and there was the decision to be made. After many discussions, we chose Ferrara. So it was a bit difficult for me at the beginning. I will tell you why. Because first, as you understood, I didn't speak Italian. I had no experience in the country, and I was basically leaving behind everything that I had built for at the beginning of my life. So I have to say it was a bit like of a challenge for me. So I was not pretty sure about it at start, but anyway, things got better. So I came here for a year and a half. I stayed at home with my little girl. I was a dad at home, and I have to say it was actually a great experience. If I could do it again, definitely I would. And then, believe me or not, I started working officially during COVID. So it was 2020, February, during the lockdown. And so first job in Italy, didn't speak Italian, was at home with the girl to look after. So definitely the best moment of my life. I'm sure everybody has a good story to tell about the COVID and the lockdown, but let's put it for another moment. And so this is where I started, so 2020, and here I am in 2025. I still work for the same company. So my company is called Inchico Spa. I think it's funny because I can see Shade. I just realized that I'm actually working with one of her colleagues on one of my projects. So it's a small world, as you can see. So I'm a project engineering manager. I manage projects not just in Italy, but also I have projects all over the world. For example, at the moment, I have 2 projects in Italy, for which I am with a colleague of Shade working on. There is one in France, one in India, and also one in Israel. And part of my work involves a lot of traveling for work, and not just manage the project from Italy. So I have to travel actually a lot. For example, once a month I have a 2-day meeting in Rome. Occasionally I would go to Milan. 2 weeks ago I was actually in Sweden. 3 months ago in Germany, and every 2 weeks two months I go also to Paris for a couple of meetings. So I actually travel a lot. So to do that, definitely you have like the Bologna International Airport, which is good. Usually you will catch everything that you need to travel overseas. If you don't, you will have the Venice airport. Federico mentioned it also before. And if you want, you can also go to Milan. So this is for international flight. Never had any trouble with that. It's quite easy. Well done. Do you have also, and so the meetings that I have in Italy, on the other hand, you manage them with a high-speed train. And with this, you can also travel not just for work, but also personal reason. And it is, you can really go everywhere. You will hear some people saying, oh, they are always late and so on. I think I've been more late flying than catching the train, to give you an idea. So it's pretty well organized. So this is for work. In 5 years, I could catch a bit of Italian, so not the best Italian speaker, but I can speak Italian. But that brings me to, that was work style, more personal style. I would say that when I first arrived, I was actually amazed because not speaking the language, I thought I would basically be stuck, you know, like you don't understand, so you stay a bit on your own. And I was surprised because a lot of people in Italy, a lot of locals, they speak really good English. And that helped me a lot at enjoying the lifestyle here at first. And it was really important for me because I really felt like part of the city right away. And it was a really good experience for me. So you have a lot of locals speaking English, a great international community as well. Doesn't look like that, but it is. And what is amazing is at first I didn't know the city. So when you expect like a little city like Ferrara, because in the end it's like a human scale city. I was used to Sydney and Paris where I lived before, and it's completely different here. You have a lot of what struck me was there are a lot of students. And because here, I don't think there is something that you cannot study. There are a lot of universities. I was amazed by that, which makes basically with students, young people, makes the city really dynamic, actually. And on top of it, as part of the presentation from Eleonora, you have a lot of events throughout the year in the city. Every weekend, there is something to do, actually. At the moment, we have like the Ferrara Music Festival, but there is always something to be done. And when I go out with the kids in the weekend, always something to see. Talking about the kids, actually, so, I mean, you can come here as a student, you can come here single, you can come here with your family, and it is more my case. You have a lot of parks and playground for kids. Everything is reachable by bike. So definitely when you have a family, definitely a good place to stay, Ferrara. And also talking about events, a lot of events also for kids are organized throughout the years, which is really good. Something that we didn't mention probably in the presentation, I mean, we don't see the sea, but the seaside is like 40 minutes away from Ferrara. So now that we are reaching summertime, definitely also very convenient. So we are not the seaside, but you can go to the seaside at 40 minutes, and it's really great for me because I've always been living near the sea, so it was important for me to have a bit of sea reachable where I live. I guess that's it. I could tell you a lot of other stories, but we'll probably monopolize the conversation. I would probably just finish with that. Just to tell you that I had a lot of people visiting Ferrara throughout these years, family members, friends. And two things that they did was when they were leaving, they were like surprisingly like very happy of their stay. And the second thing that they usually do is at some point, they always come back. They always come back. And to me, that's what makes a great city, actually. From my personal point of view, I think it was kind of a challenge at the beginning. And if I had to do it again, I would do everything. I wouldn't change a thing of what I've done. And it was probably one of the best decisions in my life so far. So that's it. I mean, if you have any question, I'm happy to answer for it. Again, I could speak for longer, but if you have any question, please reach out to me. That's not an issue. So thank you for listening and your attention. And thanks you for letting me share my story with you tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Arnaud. It was really lovely to hear how your life has changed since you first decided to move here and what you've been founding along the way, including a couple of kids, which of course are important part of your daily life. And I think we're all glad to hear that. Of course, we are now talking about working opportunities and what is the local territory and municipality and other institutions doing work-wise to increase the attractivity of the territory itself. But I think that also mentioning what is going on about support for family with young children like yourself, it's another key aspect of living in the town, which all 5 of us have been saying that it's a very human-sized city, but it's also a city full of services from every point of view. So it's really nice to hear from people who are touching them by hand for working, for pleasure, and also for family. So I think we had such a lovely set of panelists tonight, all with very different experiences, with very different line of works. And again, I think this is very typical of Ferrara. So you have a lot of people doing a lot of different things, which you think about the population number is quite incredible because of course you're not like in a global city where of course mathematics helps you in find diversity, but also in a city of 130,000 inhabitants, you can have a lot of different characters and professions and peculiarities. So I don't know if there are any questions, but I don't think there are. So what else? Well, I don't know if Ferrara was a place that you already knew, or maybe if you just discover it tonight through our words, what we hope it has reached you is the unique way of the city has to make you feel at home. So it's a place that I hope you get that work, life, culture, and nature, they don't really fight for your attention because they really complement each other on various different levels. And so if you want to, I don't know, slow down, but also grow, or just basically live fully, we wait for you here, and Ferrara is calling. And if any of it resonated with you, maybe Ferrara is calling you too. And I really hope to see you in the next two appointments we have for the webinars dedicated to studying, which will be tomorrow, and also dedicated to entrepreneurship and starting your own business and all the entrepreneurs culture in the city on Thursday. So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you to our speakers again. And of course, feel free to reach out should you wish to book a one-on-one session with Eleonora and Maria Giovanna, but also if you are already in Ferrara, just pop down to the Laboratorio Aperto. We're always here, and we're happy to show you our co-working spaces in the amazing old theater. Thank you again, and have a lovely evening. We are now going all for one aperitivo, I think. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
Thank you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.